Hello, everybody, and welcome to Mega Scorchers, the main phase, your weekly source for all trading card game goodness. I am Mac19, host and producer of the show. I press the buttons, and we're going old school with our overlays today because, yeah, that's how we roll. We wanted to feel nostalgic.
Nostalgia, because we're Nintendo fanboys.
Yeah, totally. But hey,
Totally.
man, Nintendo could be the greatest. They always had the potential to be, but they never take that opportunity. But hey, stuff happens. Yes, I'm joined this week by Chris. Hello, Chris.
Hey, Matt.
How are you doing this fine, cold weekend in Buffalo?
I am well.
That's good. Yeah. So we're kind of rocking off a Ghost Crew again this week. But we got some stuff to talk about, you guys. Today is February 8th, 2015. It's episode number 97. Ooh, we're getting to that 100. We're getting to that 100 mark.
Oh, yeah. That'll be the best episode ever.
Hopefully. I don't know. We should probably do something special. We'll figure something out. Maybe we'll figure something out. I don't know. We might.
You'll know.
You'll know by then. Yep. So we got a somewhat packed show for you guys. Quite a bit of Yu-Gi-Oh! And Pokemon mostly. Got one thing I want to talk about, Magic. But that's about it. So yeah, some stuff in Magic. We're talking about one of the new trans character that just came out. In Yu-Gi-Oh! We got a variety of things. Of course, some of the Secret Forces spoilers we know about now, so we're talking a little bit about that. And we got to talk about some Primal Clash for Pokemon TCG. So we got somewhat of a packed show for you. But to start this bitch off like we always do, what decks we playing lately and any cool games we played this past week. I know, Chris, someone's got their invite, I heard.
Yes.
How he left the room right when it was his turn to talk about his epic triumphant adventures by going to film a regional. So yeah, so you got your invite and you went to regionals recently, I hear.
Believe it or not, went to Toronto regionals yesterday, Saturday. I was nervous going into it. I went like, oh crap, I haven't played in regionals in so long. I'm gonna get scraped. So I went like, might as well fit in 3 Sanctums and an Artifact, Moral Tech, and Scythe. And I end up placing 16th.
Good job.
I get my invite. I know, right? Interesting games all around, but it really boiled down to, can I make Diamond against the Burning Abyss? Also, like a few other people, I have been maining Max C's. They've fallen out of favor recently, but now I've started to put them together. Like, I've started to put them in.
Yeah, everything's special summoning like nuts.
Mm-hmm.
It's
especially Burning Abyss.
Yeah, I'm still surprised Burning Abyss is still relevant. I guess maybe because people still want to, try it out. But I figured now with the new stuff coming out, it might not be relevant anymore. Yeah, I don't know what it actually does to any deck. I don't know what it does. Just because it keeps a strong field presence most of the time. I don't know what's actually keeping that deck in. Maybe Vanity's emptiness itself is keeping that deck alive because they can activate it when they're all set up. I don't know. I just don't think Burning Abyss can do anything anymore. That's just my opinion. I don't know what else they can. I don't know. When those Necroses come out, man. Whew.
Necroses.
Yeah. Fucking those rituals. Who would have thought rituals are going to be super good again? What are your main matchups? You're mostly always playing Burning Abyss?
Yeah, for Burning Abyss. Then I actually typed this down. A hero deck, a Quill deck, another Satellarknight deck, and an Infernory deck.
I see. Was the Infernory deck giving you any trouble?
Yeah, actually, because because every single one of their monsters says tribute this card, remove a card from the graveyard. And being a Satellarknight player, I kind of need my graveyard to do things.
Yeah, you need those guys in there to special summon them out and all that other stuff.
Yeah, you ain't kidding, Matt.
Well, that's good. So very successful. Of course, we're very proud of you.
Thank you very much.
Now you got to win the Worlds.
I have to win Nationals first.
No. Don't worry about it. Nationals is not that big of a deal. Well, actually it is. But, hey, once you win Nationals, then you got to win Worlds. We got to get you to Worlds one day.
When you go to Worlds, I'll use the mat that has your picture on it that says,
Oh
"Hi, I
my
have a
god, would
podcast."
they let you? I don't they give you sleeves and I thought they give
They
you
do.
sleeves and mats. That would be really. I
I'll,
wish they would.
I'll I'll have it superimposed on a shirt.
All right, that I think you could probably skip that by.
I'll I'll find some way, but people will know that you have a podcast. Even people in Europe.
Even people in Europe. Even people in Europe.
Yep. People will know you have a podcast.
They will.
And it will be the best thing ever.
I myself have been going hard on Frog Monarch.
I saw Mr. Matthew here at last week's Crown Tournament, top aided, beating a Burning Abyss card. Burning Abyss.
Yes, Burning
I
Abyss.
heard he was the best thing ever.
Yeah.
In fact, that person still talks about how he lost to you last week today. So, Matthew.
Why did he walk in and say, "All right, I'm ready for that frog player," and I wasn't there?
Yeah, he said, "I brought quills."
Oh man.
Fuck! I mean, Venusaur!
You have a rival,
Oh man, that's hilarious. That is
Do you-
hilarious because he's
you
like,
remember-
"Fuck, I don't want to lose now, so I'm gonna play Quills."
Yes, you scared to win in the playing quills over Burning Abyss, Matt. You know what? No matter what, you deserve a pat on the back tonight. Give yourself a pat on the back. You did it.
Hilarious. So yeah, I've been going hard on that. I'm doing a lot of play testing this week, and of course I went to that tournament last week. Did not go today. I had other engagements I had to inquire about and other things I had to do. Sadly,
It is quite all right. But you are still remembered.
I don't know. I've been testing a lot. I've been facing a lot of Infernoids, Volcanics, and Quills. I finally been facing legit things. 'Cause remember I told you I started building a deck and suddenly I faced up a fucking Frog Monarch, which was so weird. So weird. I don't know why why I was facing that when I first started. Maybe everyone had the same idea I did. Just use
Everyone,
Mega Kaias.
Monarch. It'll be all right.
Yeah. So now I finally got some actual testing in facing Quills, Volcanics, and Infernoids, and Burning Abyss too. But I've never had a problem with Burning Abyss ever. Like I don't know what they do against me. They don't have anything. They can do Vandy's Emptiness and stop me. That's it. That's all they got.
And how long did they stop you for? Probably not that long.
Well, until I draw a Mystique. That's how it works. Or if I can somehow get and I can still summon, normal summon. So if I can get a, Stormforth, or if I just have a monster in the field, I tribute off, So for my initial testing, Quills is still a problem. It's just you got to hope you draw your side cards and play them at the correct time. That's all you got to do. It's just power creep is apparent in Yu-Gi-Oh, and there's not much you can do about that. It's my choice playing a tier 2 deck. I'll go and say it's a tier 2 deck. I would say
We
that.
love you, Matt.
I am confident in saying that term. It's a tier 2. I don't think it's a completely shitty deck.
No, it's not.
Uh,
At least you aren't running
Infernoids, I will say that I feel they're good. They can be good, yes. But here's the thing. I just think the meta right now is more better than they are, and they still have to mill well, and they still have to play all these shitty cards in there, keep them in your hand. But then again, they're not super shitty because they've got that nice cost where they tribute themselves off, or they don't have to tribute themselves. They tribute something else too, and do stuff.
Yep.
So
The thing is, they have the surprise factor right now. People don't know what they do, so they have the surprise factor.
yeah, I agree. They have that on their side.
Like, I didn't know what they did. I actually had to read them. I didn't know they were inherents, and so I lost. Pure and simple. I had a deck that was going through every single deck there, except for the one Quill guy. He beat me fair and square. But, I didn't know what they did, so...
Yeah,
You did it.
I agree. And once the initial stuff goes over, I think that people will handle them better. I don't know.
That is very true.
They have to. They don't have to mill a lot, but they have to mill to get everything in their graveyard, and then they give up their entire hand just to get off their guys in their graveyards and stuff, and they give up, and then they have to run things like, what is it? It's the quick play spell card that returns the stuff from the banish. Burial, yeah. They run Burial just to bring the shit back so they can do it again. Like they do.
Foolish Bear.
I don't know. I just feel like most meta decks right now, they can do crazy shit and still retain a 5-card hand and still have options beyond spewing
They
off.
expend themselves, and if they guy gets bottomless, it doesn't bother them as much because they have Miracle Dig probably. Like
They
Miracle
do, yes.
Dig,
I've seen many with Miracle Dig.
yeah. Seems I only lose to Miracle Digs at regionals. My very first regional, I lost to Miracle Dig. My first regional, I only lost once. And that was the Miracle Dig.
Yeah, so I might be the weird one, but I'm still going to say Infernoids aren't going to do much. That's me. I could be wrong. I've been wrong before. I've been wrong more often than not, actually, but
You're
that's what
not
I want to say about that.
you're not being weird. They probably will lose more often than not. You are not being weird, my friend.
Yes. Now, in terms of facing, like, volcanics and stuff, that's a little rough, but, it's an
It takes
interesting deck.
one guy to run volcanics, and suddenly becomes the bee's knees.
Yeah. Hold up pretty well on that end. So Tellarknights, it's actually a rough matchup. It is. But I do feel, unlike Quills, I actually have a chance to beat them. So, but Stellar Knights are really powerful. They're really powerful, and they definitely deserve to be up there to be part of the meta.
Yeah, the thing is, people abandoned Tellarknights when once all this stuff started happening, they just went forget Tellarknights. No one likes these things.
Mm-hmm. It's kind of crazy. It's really rough.
It really is kind of crazy when you think about it.
Yeah. The Too Honest thing I don't like. Do you run Honest?
Yeah. I ran two of them yesterday.
Of course you run Too Honest. Why wouldn't you?
I love you, Matt.
Anyway, so I think honestly, I think I wouldn't care so much if they had two Honest. If they had one Honest, I'd be really happy. But you guys have two. Fuck, man.
Three honest. Give me three honest. Hashtag three honest.
Hashtag let's make an Honest for every attribute. And then put them all to one. That's what I think should happen. But that'll never happen because that would be Konami caring about the game. It would be a different game.
Matthew, you need to stop drinking the special sauce, dude.
Yeah. So overall, I've been testing. I think it holds up pretty well. You're definitely, no matter what, it's a deck that requires setup, and you're grinding out your games. That's just how it is. It's because power creep is very apparent right now, and that's just what's going to happen. So if you're going to play frogs in any variant, that's you got to go with that.
The funny thing is, I'm testing out volcanics right now as we're talking, and it's just yeah, this deck is good.
We'll talk more about that in the state of the game.
You're right.
Yes. So that's what we've been playing. For Magic, I was sticking with the Esper Control, and it's working like it would work. I think if I might get the deck completed in RL, I'll start going to maybe, I don't know how I'm gonna go to Friday Night Magic. I'll go to some kind of tournament once in a blue moon because I'm already tight as enough in schedule.
PPTQ that happened today, I think.
Yeah, that happened. Yeah, I think it was today.
Because my friend Steve went there. He placed top 8.
Oh, of course Steve would. Come on.
Yeah.
Come on. He's good at card games. It doesn't matter what it is.
Yep.
He just finally realized that Magic was the better one. I pushed Chris's button. Don't worry, Chris. Yu-Gi-Oh's still my main one. Don't. I can make fun of it because I play.
Games are equal. Equal, you sons of bitches. Oh, God damn it. I had the wrong card.
Overall, I do agree as well. Yeah, if I actually have a deck in route. But here's the problem with Magic. You got, Yu-Gi-Oh's expensive, but you can... I don't know. I still think Magic's more expensive because if I want to start from scratch and have a competitive deck, it's more expensive. Yu-Gi-Oh, there are ways you can get things common and you can get a competitive deck. Or at least something decent in play. That is still one of the greatest things about Yu-Gi-Oh. You could still play whatever you want, which is nice. So.
Yeah.
In terms of Pokemon, I still been sticking with the Flareon deck. Although there's so much cooler shit out now. I'm thinking about changing up my decks now for a new standard. A lot of cool new things came out in the new set. Thinking about changing it up. But I have to invest in some supporters soon if I'm going to have to bite that bullet. Because supporter cards are very expensive. Yeah, so those are the decks we've been playing lately. We're going to move on to the State of the Game talk now. Talk about the stuff going on in the card game world. We're going to start with some Magic. I got one thing in Magic the Gathering here. A lot of other things have happened, of course. A lot of other things are happening. But the one thing I want to talk about is this internet semi-blew up. No, it didn't blow up.
Are we talking about Kim Kardashian again?
No, we're not talking about Kim Kardashian again. This Magic the Gathering news actually made it to video game sites. That's how I heard about it first. Because this new card that came out not too long ago. What's her name? Let's see. I'm going to try to say this. Ashlia, who smiles at death. Something like that. This card came out. It was the first trans character in the Wizard of the Coast card world and stuff like that.
I remember Steve told me about this, where it was a guy that wanted to be a lady and took his grandmother's name.
Something like that. A story published by Wizard of the Coast website revealed that she was born anatomically male, intertwining her background into a tale of combat. So apparently she was specific to combat, something happened, and then wanted to become a woman, about his grandma's name, stuff like that. So if you're into the lore, it explains it very deeply, and they have a whole thing on their site. I'll drop the link into the chat room. My whole thing I want to talk about this is, all right, I'm going to play both sides of this thing. So first side of this is, yes, cool, we've got a trans character. That way, if you are said person, there's something in there that you can relate to if you want to. It is more encompassing and more open to other people's and other lifestyles bring in there. The only thing I didn't like about this, everything, like, fucking, just because something's trans doesn't mean it's something super special. Like, you know what I mean? Like, if something, I don't feel it affects the card game at all depending, like, if because there's a trans character. It doesn't even reference it on the card, for God's sake, so most people will gloss over. I think it's just, people made too much of a big deal of it. I don't think it was not something that important that needed to hold. Like, everyone's all about, let's see how progressive everything is now becoming. And the games that we play, we're forcing them to be more progressive. I don't think that's why they did it. I think that it's because actually, if you look at our backstory, it's an interesting backstory. And I think that's the cool part about it, that we actually can now encompass these type of tales within our card games, which is really interesting. And being it in the lore itself is very awesome. I just think the problem I always had with it, like I said, is that these sites make such a more big deal out of it than it is. It should have just been, oh, here's another cool story that, whereas they're the coast, they went a little bit outside their lines and tried a different type of storyline with their lore. That's all it should have been. It was more like, look at this trans character, it's so amazing, and blah, and blah, blah, blah. Like, it was, I think it was, that was my only problem about it, because every time something progressive happens in games, it's made such a big deal. Like, but it's not necessarily a bad thing. Like, that was my one thing I would say about it.
I got you, Matt.
Yeah. So it was interesting, though. Interesting. I do like from what I really read of the storyline, but it's an interesting story. Like, I've always liked the Wizard of the Coast story of lore. It can be very interesting. A little bit of drama-y at sometimes with the Planeswalker stuff. It's like, oh, here's some drama. But Jace was doing this, and then Rogue was choking Liliana, and then Liliana because Liliana poisoned her. Blah blah blah. Very like daytime TV drama is what I like to call it with some of that stuff. But it can be really good at the same sometimes. So Wizards, good job. Not only did you make something that will make more people interested in your game and other demographics, which I don't think it will affect it that much, but hey, they're trying. Maybe some people will be interested because they hear there's a transgender character in the game. Then that might make someone more interested, and more demographics could play the game, which is good. More people, more different types of people playing games is better. So you can meet more interesting people in life.
Yep.
Other than that, Magic is going pretty interesting right now. I like that there's a diverse amount of decks that can possibly win. Although we've kind of definitely stumbled upon, definitely we have a set meta. Actually, a new deck that recently just came out is there's a new combo deck. So we have 2 combo decks that are in standard right now, and it blows my mind. Which Magic has never had combo decks for a while until now. Like 2 in the meta. That's kind of weird. And they're relatively pretty consistent. It pretty much plays like a green, it's just a green deck, but then it has a little blue splash into it to access the combo. So it's pretty interesting. So you play it like a green ramp-up deck, and then you use the combo to then generate essentially unlimited mana. And then you can play your big creatures like, your Arbiter Colossus or your World Eaters or your Hydras or fucking Hornet Queens and shit. So that's really cool. So I like to see that there's more combo decks coming up. It's kind of, as much as you could debate combo decks aren't skillful, but hey, I think having a combo deck in standard is really interesting. If there's 1 or 2. Because you have like 20 of them, that'd be kind of shitty. Kind of like Yu-Gi-Oh! There's like a bazillion people trying to make one turn, 0 turn deck with Exodia, and it's like weird. I showed his face to one the other day. It's kind of funny. All right, so that's all I want to talk about Magic, so we're just going to get into some Yu-Gi-Oh!
Red, green, monstrous. I mean, Yu-Gi-Oh!
All right, so I have a couple things I want to talk about. First things first, the most amazing new hand trap card ever.
Are you talking about that one lady that pops face-up things that activate?
Maybe.
Oh.
Yukare Hushka. I have no idea how to say this fucking name.
Words.
I didn't know if it was faced up. Let me see. I'm going to read it right now. Yes, I think it is, Chris. I think it's that one. So it's 0 attack, 1800 defense, level 3. Yeah, this is the one, Chris. During either player's turn, when a monster effect is activated on the field, or when a face-up spell or trap card is activated. See, that's the part I didn't know. I thought it was just anything that activates. You can send this card from your hand or your side of the field to the graveyard, you can destroy that card, and you only can use the effect once per turn. Now,
Yep,
she
you
does
can
not
still-
negate, so that they got to keep that in mind. But being able to destroy things for free, that's really nice, actually.
Well, here's the thing, Matthew. Notice how it says for the magic and trap part things that are already face up.
Yeah, most likely you're gonna probably activate that for continuous spell cards.
Exactly. Now, here's the thing. In this game, continuous spell cards have to be face up still at when they resolve in order to work.
Yeah, that's why when you chain MST to like a tanky,
Yeah,
they don't get to search because it has to
Exactly.
yeah.
Well, actually, no. That's a little bit different, but it's the same thing. Let's say I'm trying to think of a continuous spell card that activates. Ah, I got it. The Molding of the Monarchs, the one that searches for a monster if you tribute summon a monster.
Yes.
Say you had that face up on the field for like a bajillion turns. We'll say like 5 turns, and you tribute summon, and you activate that effect. You can send her from your hand because that is a spell trap card that is already face up.
Mm-hmm.
You can pop it, and it'll stop you. You won't search. I believe the main purpose of this card is to stop Quillford Scout, which is a pendulum monster that's in the magic trap zone. I mean, the pendulum zone. So it counts as a continuous spell card.
Makes sense. Yeah.
So you pay the 800, its effect activates. You send this from your hand or your side of the field. Done. It doesn't negate something, but it does pop it. Monster effects, that's a different story. Most monster effects don't need to be face up on the field to resolve. There are some exceptions. Zombie Master is one of them. Zombie Master says, discard a card, target a zombie in the graveyard, special summon it. However, if it's not face up on the field to resolve, then you don't do anything. You lost 2 cards right there.
Yeah.
So yeah.
The main thing I definitely agree with is mostly take out continuous spells and traps.
And any pendulum effect really, any pendulum effect that activates, you can take out like that.
Yeah. Monsters, yeah, I definitely agree. Most things you're going to get your effect. It's still nice to have that utility to take out a monster if you need to.
It still negates something too. Like that's important. Negating something for nearly free, pretty good.
Yeah, but then in this case, it's only going to be destroying, which better than nothing.
Yeah, at least it's off the
And
field.
it works on your side of the field too, so it could be a card of the field effect as well.
And I think its level is like what, 3 or 2?
Yeah, level 3 light psychic tuner.
Oh, so you bring it out with teleport and you laugh.
Yeah, and it's this tuner level 3. It's a quick
It's
effect,
turns.
creates a condition. That's pretty good. Not too bad. I think it's a very solid hand trap, and I'm super excited for this. More hand traps are always good.
Oh yeah.
'Cause
Well,
for some
Matthew
reason,
loves-
people are not playing Mind Drain.
Because dragons are not a thing anymore. Also, Matthew loves his hand traps because he doesn't know what a trap card is. In fact, he stays away from all things purple.
I play trap cards. Come on, I play trap cards in Monarch sometimes. It surprises people.
Trap cards.
Yeah, next card I wanted to talk about is Galaxy Cyclone.
Oh yeah.
Yes, this card. So, target once. It's a normal spell card. Target one spell or trap card in the field. Destroy it. That's its first effect. There you go. So, it's a slower MST right there. It has other things it could do too, though. During your main phase, except the turn you activate this card. Except for the turn this card was sent from the field to the graveyard, you can banish it from your graveyard and then target one faced up spell or trap card on the field, and you can destroy it. And you only can use this effect once per turn. And the effect of the only thing you can use once per turn is the effect of sending it from grave to banish.
Yeah.
So this is interesting. It's not going to replace MST in my opinion because it's a normal spell card. But
Actually, in Lightsworns, it replaces MST. It's an answer
Yes.
to the floodgates that Lightsworns have to deal with.
yes, I think it's like Light Swarms will get the most use out of this because why play MST when you could play this? Because if you mill something, you've got this instead. And you could
Yeah.
still use it if you draw it. Again, obviously it's as dead as much as MST would be dead. So you got to keep that in mind.
Yeah.
But it's
But
a pretty interesting card, actually. We haven't got a legit card that just destroys spell and traps without any weird conditions in a while. Like, this card does it. Yes, it's not a quick play, but fuck, man. Like, honestly,
Yeah.
what else do we have? That was Dust Tornado is the only thing that has no negative other than just destroying something, Just destroy something.
I don't count the 500 life points from Twister as negative.
I thought Twister only does face up though.
It does, but
Yeah, that's the thing.
and Spell Shattering.
Oh, wait a second. See, here's the difference. I should read this part again. Target 1 set spell or trap card, so it does not do everything that MST does.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I read that wrong.
It's all right.
Ah,
All right.
so okay. So, interesting. So it only does things that are set.
Yeah,
It's not
basically,
replacing MST, but it is definitely, like you said, Life Swarms are going to benefit the most from it.
because it's a card that works from the graveyard.
Yeah.
And cards that work from the graveyard are very good in decks where you don't know what's being sent in your graveyard. Hell, even Infernoids could use this card.
Yeah, that's right. Actually, they should play this. They actually should play this over fucking MST if they choose to run MSTs.
Yeah. And
You might see this in normal decks. If people did, I would only see them teching in one. Like they would tech in a Night Beam maybe sometimes. Because, maybe the idea of getting a second card destroyed for free is nice to them. But not even for free, because you could still technically somehow negate it. Some cards say negate. Somehow, I don't know. There's probably something that negates something when it gets sent to the banish section or something.
yeah, there's a couple of things.
Probably something. So just
But
actually overall, I think it's a really well-designed and good card. I think it will change things up a bit. More options for destroying spell and traps is always good.
Plus, the picture looks really cool.
Yeah, it's kind of like a throw. It kind of looks, it has it has a
throwback
cyclone.
to-
It's like has a cyclone type thing. It looks like it's in space to me, and it's kind of reminiscent of MST a little bit.
Yeah, people at my local store are saying that this is going to be secret or more. I mean, like
Secret? What the fuck?
People think it'll be hyped. And you know how
I mean,
the hype.
Konami, this seems like
You
it
know
should be
how
an
the hype-
uncommon or a common card, to be honest.
Remember, the hype train has no stops.
Does not.
It crashes, but it doesn't stop.
Mhm.
Like Lavavo Chain, that's hype train right now.
Yeah, it's up to $100. I saw.
It was up to 120 before it started going back down when people stopped taking their stupid pills. Like the stupid pill prescription ran out, and people were like, "Wait, what are we doing?" It's all because of volcanics, but we'll get into that in a bit. Continue on, Matt.
Final single card I wanted to talk about was Lose a Turn. Lose a
That's my-
turn. This card right here. Activate only if you control no special summon monsters. The effects of all special summon monsters are negated until the end of the turn. If an effect monsters is special summoned in attack position, change it to defense position. Now, here was my question that I was not clear about. See this line here? The effects of all special summon monsters are negated till the end of turn. Now, this is a continuous trap card, correct?
Yes.
So does that mean? Here's the thing I'm confused about. One, is it always negating the effects of special summon monsters,
But
or is
here,
it only
let
for
me-
that turn you activated initially?
Let me take a look at the text really quick.
And then I have another question after that.
It's called lose a turn.
Yeah.
Lost a turn. Hold up.
Oh, I'm sorry. Lost a turn. Sorry.
Oh no, I got it. Lose a turn. It's not lost. It's lose. All right. I'm gonna take a look. Okay, features back to square one. Goblin attack force. Oh wait, I'm looking at the trivia. I just need to It depends on how the text looks. Trap card. Activate only you control the spell.
Here, do you want me to send you? Here's the link, Chris. Chris, here's.
Gate it till the end of turn. If an effect monster is special summoned in attack position. So basically,
Basically, I need to think.
continues. Yeah, that's continuously negating special summon monsters' effects for that turn until the end of the turn. Meaning, I guess at the end of the turn, they're special summon. Like the English text might become clearer. Like the English text might be clearer. I can't tell you
Right now, this could just be a rough translation.
Yeah, that's another thing. So until then, it hits something. What I'm gonna say is that it hits something until the end of that turn it's summoned.
So I get it, and then the continuous effect probably. Yeah, because the one under here says continuous trigger like. The trigger like is that first effect, and then the continuous effect is actually the second part where it says effect monsters in attacks that can change the emphasis. So that's the continuous effect.
Oh no, that's the if an effect monster is special summon. Notice the semicolons right after the position. That means it's trigger like. It happens when something else happens.
Okay.
Continuous is like all one sentence. The
Oh,
effect
well
of-
then the other effect is continuous then, 'cause according to the wiki then. Oh, so that
Yeah.
is continuous. So that means but why does it say till end of turn? Why does it just say negate the
Because I think it's just like monsters special summon that turn. Now I realize it probably would say that if that's what it did, but this is the Japanese version, meaning this is a rough translation.
Yeah. All right. Then
So you have
my second question is, but this text might change, so this question might be irrelevant soon. But it says the effect of all special summon monsters are negated until end of turn. It says that, right?
yeah.
So it doesn't have to be on the field, right? If a special summon monster gets sent to the graveyard, does an effect that activates in the graveyard, would that be negated as well?
A monster in a graveyard is not a special summon monster.
Ah, okay.
They solved this problem with Shadal Shikinaga, the one that says negate the activation and effect of a special summon monster
Yep.
and destroy it. But monsters in the graveyard are not special summoned because people wondered if you could stop. Let's see, a special summoned Lone Fire Block. No, Lone Fire Blossom activates on the field. Trying to think. It was a special summoned, a special summoned Shaddoll monster, like an El Shaddoll, another El Shaddoll fusion. I
Mhm.
mean, another El Shaddoll fusion monster, where if it died and it got one of the spell trap cards back. Could you negate that? And it was ruled that monsters in the graveyard are not special summoned monsters.
Okay. That was
So
my question. All right, that makes sense then. So it won't negate that.
yeah, it won't negate things that activate in the graveyard basically. But if you special summon a Lone Fire Blossom, this will still hit it because it activated on the field.
Yeah.
Yeah, but we'll
So
see what the English translation says because in English translation on some cards it says even if this card leaves the field. Like a lot of the fire formations said boost a monster up by 300 by 1,000, and in parentheses it says even if this card leaves the field.
we'll have to wait for the final word on that. But overall, I think we'll know what this does. So what do you think about the card then, Chris?
I think the picture's really funny. That's the first thing that comes to mind. That picture is really funny. It's like playing Monopoly, and it's like playing Sorry. There you go. Sorry is a better comparison. Sorry is a game that lost friends,
Yes.
but it's funny. I just find it funny. Also, this card is pretty good because it can handle like if you have a deck that normal summons a lot or like isn't affected by this, then it's pretty good.
You would want to run it over like something like Skill Drain because it just stops special summon monsters.
Yes, actually.
Yep.
Yes. But at the same time, if it affects monsters special, yeah, it only stops special summon monsters, but that can also hurt you. But then again, a lot of monsters nowadays are special summoned effect monsters, and it changes them to defense position, which is very important
That's actually really nice. I like that part of it a lot.
because most monsters nowadays that are popularly played don't have that much defense.
Yeah, they're pretty weak. Burning Abyss have a high. Usually, some of them have higher defenses.
I've noticed, but at the same time, all of their stuff activates in the grave.
Huh? Wait a second here. What's that card that says when something's summoned in defense? Oh no, this wouldn't work. Never mind. My idea
Yeah,
was this would change it to defense.
Yeah, it was summoned. This card specifically says if something's summoned in attack.
Yeah,
position.
so it wouldn't work. I was thinking, oh wait.
You're thinking the new trap hole that just came
Yeah,
out.
I'm thinking, oh wait, could this work in combo? No, because it would still come out and attack, and then
It
it would
comes out and
Yeah.
it changes to defense.
Darn.
Yeah, it's a trigger-like effect. If it was like level limit area, no, level limit area B does switch to defense. Huh? Those are cards that were good but now are not good. Gravity Bind, level limit area B. Who cares about levels anymore?
Yeah, true.
All right, Matt. Any more single cards you got on your mind?
That's all the ones I wanted to go over. So the next thing we have here is the Secret Forces. We got a little bit of early spoilers going on.
Yeah, someone in France cracked some packs, and this set seems to be a money set because people are going to be looking for this. Especially, believe it or not, around the shop I go to, guess what the card that draws people to buy this set is?
Abyss
You'll never
Dweller?
believe what. No, Close.
Vandy's?
That's a good guess, but that's not the super
The
draw card.
Dejins?
No,
Is
I'll
okay?
give
Is
you-
it the Necros?
no.
Okay, then I don't know.
Soul Release as a super.
Now I know Soul Release has gotten more popular because it's a good side card, but really?
Really, because the shop I go to has a lot of old school players who still side soul release, and some of them are
Oh,
shiny.
I would debate you could legitimately side soul release.
Soul release is good against a lot of things now.
Yeah.
It really is. The only thing it is not good against is quills.
Hey
Like
Chris,
burning
I think I
abyss,
just became one of them people.
yeah, Dante needs to be able to get stuff. Like if you kill a Skarm and then soul release it, there's no search. Against Tellarknights, if you remove the graveyard, you win. Against Necross, you remove the graveyard, you're good. Again, like so much gets hurt by soul release.
Hey Chris, I think I'm one of those people now.
Yeah,
Well, it's mostly because it's an old card and it's gonna be shiny, like you just
yeah.
said.
But that's just it though. We finally get a shiny soul release. Soul
Yeah,
release
and it'll
was
have the latest Antra on it too.
Yep. It was released 12 years ago.
Yeah.
So it
I don't
deserves
think
a
it.
sign.
Let me see. I'm gonna check the last Antra change. No surprise here. The Necros are super secret rare.
Enjoy your money, said.
No surprise there at all.
Guess who's getting boxes for his birthday? My
You.
birthday is exactly a week from now. So
Wow,
so
Chris.
I will yeah. If I
Wow.
build Necross, I will let you know. I'll
Alright.
be 25 for the 6th time.
So, Soul Release has only had 2 Antra changes. Last time it was changed was the structure deck, the Dark Emperor.
That was the Monarch deck back in forever ago.
Oh my God! Yeah, oh man, the Dark Emperor contains 40 cards and 39 commons.
That's where Kai's came from. That was during the GX days. So that was like 2009, I think.
So
2010.
long ago. You got a Caius, a Dimensional Alchemist, a DD Warrior Lady, a Kaiko.
That was where Kai's first premiered.
Was in the actual in the deck.
Yeah, Caius
Wow.
was the cover monster.
Yeah, he was. I didn't know that was his first. I thought he came out in a set first. All right.
No, here's the thing. Back in the GX days, all starter decks, the boss monster, the cover card, had something to do with the number 1,000.
What? Really?
Like seriously, look up each starter deck from the GX days. There's each structure deck, and you'll see the number 1,000.
Interesting.
It'll do something 1,000.
I'll have to take a look at that. Next, the other big reprints people care about, Abyss Dweller, because that has not been reprinted since it came out.
A little bit late, but people are happy about it.
Yeah.
Also, Manju and Sanju. No, just Manju with the 10,000 hands.
I know. That is so hilarious. We never. Who would have ever thought, Chris, if you would have told me, like, I don't know, I will even say like 10 years ago, as I don't know when those cards came out, but they're really old. We were like, one day this is gonna be a majorly sought after card that they're gonna reprint as like a super rare. I'll be like, the fuck out of here. Are you kidding me? This card's common. This shit will never be important. It's a ritual card.
Also, for anybody who cares, Card D is a super.
Oh, interesting. And the Daijin guys, too. Now, apparently the Daijins, this is important because with the way the Antra changes is going to matter, apparently.
Yes, it is. Basically, what it used to be was if you brought it over to your side, like say you big-eyed a monster brought out by a Jujin.
Okay.
That means, that they could not special summon, that they could not do whatever, right? But now the new Jujins say whoever ritual summoned the monster, the effect applies to. Basically, say I bring out the Necross and Trishula, right? Using the Jujin that says that my opponent cannot special summon. You snatch steal my Trishula. While it's still face up, the person who stole the Trishula cannot special summon because I'm the person that performed the ritual summon. This is very important.
Yes, it is.
It matches us up with Japan. Like, this is how it is in Japan. We took it a different way because of how we translated it, which shows that even on, Konami staff, there are rough translators.
Yeah. See, I would have never read it like that originally because I'm looking at the original text. I would have just assumed that, well, that monster just says your opponent. I don't need to control that monster. See, I would have never took it that way. But apparently if that was the way it was being played before, shit. I wish I would have abused that more back in the day.
People did play it like that. People did play it like that.
Well, now it's more clear.
There wasn't much to take cards. Like, back then there was not many. Snatch Steal wasn't around. There. There. That simplifies it.
Ah, that's
Snatch
probably
Poke,
why. Yeah, because what you were gonna maybe mind control it maybe back then. That's about it.
yeah, or maybe Big Eye it. Even then, like Big Eye is a couple of years old now.
Maybe plasma it. I think that would still count.
Yeah,
Its effects would still matter, right?
technically, yeah.
Oh, then
Actually,
again, if you're not special summoning, how you bringing out plasma? But whatever, you know what I mean.
Jazz, maybe, yeah.
Anyway, so maybe yeah. So you're right, Chris. I bet you $20 situation didn't occur very often when the Dejins came out. I remember when
I
they came
noticed
out. Hey, I was playing when that set came out. I remember I used to run the Divine Grace deck with that.
you were the best person ever for running that.
Dude, Divine Grace with fucking the Dejin, and then what else did I do? I already forgot. I not only did I have the Citadel in the field, but I had some other spell card that supported. What was it? Oh, because Divine Grace said you choose 2 cards that you can't destroy her or something, and that's what it was.
I remember that.
Yeah, and I would pick the field barrier and then the Citadel because they would have
Yeah.
to. They couldn't. They had destroyed the field barrier just to get rid of Citadel, and then they had to get rid of both those cards. So that's what I used to do. Yeah, I remember now.
Oh, good times. Anyways, I'll be right back.
Yes. Other important things that gonna get reprinted, in my opinion, we're gonna get Soul Absorption's getting reprinted as a super rare, which is weird. Necro Gardener, of course, all the Dejin and the Ritual Beasts, they're getting reprinted. And like Chris was saying earlier, the Majun guys is really to come back too. So that's very, very interesting. So this is definitely, like Chris said, those are shaping up to be a very money set. And I think a lot of people are going to buy this set. They're going to make a lot of money. A lot of money. And they're going to be quite happy with that. Moving on to the next topic here. There's 3 decks I wanted to talk about here. Volcanics, UAs, and Infernoids. So I'm going to start off with Infernoids because we kind of talked about it a little bit before we got into the state of the game. Infernoids. I'm gonna admit with you guys, I'm that guy who thinks that I can do anything. Because yes, they're like when I was play testing against them, yes, my frog deck and low level decks have a hard time facing it. But you know what? I think the meta decks with a relatively decent player can take out an Infernoid deck. I think the biggest thing, like Chris was saying earlier, is that it's just a surprise deck. It's new. People just don't know how to face it yet. So they're gonna get a couple wins off of people because the deck relies on you milling relatively good, and that's about it, because you're going to be committing, when you do things with your Infernoid, you're committing a lot of resources to bringing out those guys, banishing 2 to 3 monsters just to special summon those guys out. Yes, they're worth it because they're usually pretty big attackers, and they have those abilities where they tribute off a monster, and then it can banish either stuff on your field or in your graveyard, which is very, very powerful. So that makes them have some potential. I just don't think they'll be top tier. Maybe they could be considered in the top meta somehow, but with other things out there that can actually go faster and big out bigger beats more consistently, then it's like, why play Infernoids when you can have those decks that can do that even better? Hell, they can even handle Infernoids better because those bring out, like Quills just bring out a big beater, run over your guy. Yeah, you'll banish their 1 Quill, but then they'll just do it all over again.
I'm back right now, Matt.
Yes, welcome back. I was talking about the next subject. So yeah, Infernoids, like I said, man, I just don't think they're going to be doing anything.
Well, from what I saw from the guy yesterday, he ran the most basic build, like Raiden and Lila. Lila takes care of the Banning's emptiness. Raiden swings over things and fills the graveyard and reasoning and such. I only won game 1 because he saw no reasoning. And because when he did get things in the graveyard, I Raspity and the Berserk them away. But game 2, he got his graveyard up to 20 cards and I couldn't do anything. From what I've seen from Inferno...
Oh, God. Oh, God. Oh, no. How do I stop this? Hello? I think I stopped it.
Yeah,
okay, ads?
It was
ads?
an ad?
Ads suck. Oh, God. It's still going. I fixed it, though.
You have ads? Oh, Matthew.
Oh, no. Something's going on now. So, yeah, that happened. So what were you saying, Chris?
Yeah, Infernoids. I've noticed that, get the graveyard full, you win. But if you don't get the graveyard full, you're done. Also, the guy I was playing against ran Dark Ruler Hades, believe it or not.
Dark Ruler Hades?
Yeah, because all Infernoid monsters are fiends. So they get their effects. I mean, they can negate things that they destroy, which is very important against Shadows and Burning Abyss.
Check. Check. Yep, there you go. We're back. They hear us now.
Hooray!
All right. Sorry for that. So the ad that played, guys. So there was the ad that played, which caused all the audio to get blown up, and then it caused everything to mute itself to try to react to the loud sounds. And then we talked about Infernoids, and then we realized the sound was out, so we just fixed that. So Chris, repeat everything you said about Infernoids. Go real quick.
They ran Dark Ruler Hades. There are a bunch of inherent summons. They're fiend type monsters. They can run blaster. They can really kill you because they have a 28 attacker that attacks twice.
Yeah, so they have potential to do things.
Oh yeah.
So don't count them out just yet, guys. I just feel that the meta is real fast, that they should be able to outpace them easily, and relying on good mills isn't always a viable way, and you commit a lot to your resources when you're banishing stuff from your graveyard to bring stuff out. Yes, there's Miracle Dig, and what's it, Different Dimension? Fuck, what is it? Different Dimensional Capsule? Is that what it's called?
Burial from a different
Barrel.
dimension.
There's another ones that are like bring stuff from your deck, and you have to wait like I'm thinking of those fucking cards.
Golden Sarcophagus? No.
No,
actually,
there's a card that's like Golden Sarcophagus. It takes it from the deck, you put it face down under the
different
card.
dimension capsule, but
Yeah.
that's face down.
Yeah, those are the things I'm thinking about for some reason.
You're insane.
Yeah. Then we're moving on to Volcanics now, guys. All right, so like I was saying, Volcanics have a very consistent way of wiping out your opponent's side of the field and then do like 1,500 damage. And that is a big, big part of the deck. It's a very, very powerful part of the deck. Now, my thing about it was that it's very powerful, yes. But it has if you get disrupted or you get slowed down, it is a very, very tough deck to go recover with. That is the biggest critique I had about it. It's not as recoverable. So yes, there's some autopiloting stuff you can do, but unless you're a good player and you don't recover properly, you're gonna have a bad time. When it gets disrupted, it's a hard time recovering.
Yeah.
That is my biggest critique about it.
About Volcanics?
Yeah, but other than that, fuck man, that trap card is good as fuck.
Yes.
That trap card is so good.
Like, I was going over the guy's deck profile, and I was actually testing it as I was talking to you on the show.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, it's basically burn, poke, destroy, poke. And it's destroy, burn with poke, along with poke, poke, poke.
It's like the legit burn deck we've always wanted. That wasn't chain burn.
Well, yes, actually.
It's the
Very
slow
good,
burn
man.
that we've always wanted to play, that people would like to play.
It's
Now, I will have to give
perfect.
some props here. Now, I've noticed that this build this guy had, if you look at Dub K Dad's old videos of his volcanic decks and shit, very similar to his strategies, except that just the trap card came out, and which changed. They pretty much added that to some of his deck designs. So I just want to keep that in mind. That I think that is a big thing, something to consider.
Yeah.
That's just me. I'm just saying that I noticed that. Oh wait, is this ad gonna play again?
Oh boy.
Oh no, it's muted. Haha, bitches.
I see someone does not have. Do you have Twitch? Are you subscribed to Twitch? Do you watch the ARGs?
No, not the ARGs.
Oh. Okay.
Yeah. So, Volcanics. That's what we were talking about. Yeah. Sorry, I got distracted there. Ads. Yeah. So that's the biggest thing about Volcanics. Now, can they actually do something? Will they be something that's viable? You know what?
I think it'll take more than one person to play them. Something I've
Yeah.
realized, that the more people that play a deck, the more successful the deck is. But it's only because it's more people playing the deck. More chances for it to actually do something.
Yeah. And I'm trying to think. Now, what is this is somewhat still on topic. Tower. Do you know Tower off the top of your head? Does
Which tower?
it can't? Does it say it can't be affected by monster card effects, or it can't be? Like, that's the part I don't remember.
Oh, Quellfort Towers?
Yeah.
It cannot be affected by monster effects with a rank or a level lower than its.
Okay, so they can't take that out. So because he's like
Yeah.
level 4, right? If I can't remember, if he's level 4, that
Scatter
volcanic
Shot?
monster, it does all the
Scattershot's
wiping.
at level 2s.
I'm sorry.
Scattershot, right?
Yeah, I think his name's Scattershot.
Yeah, level 2. They're little guys. They're
Yeah, so
500
the effects can't take out Tower.
No.
Yeah. Oh well. Uh. So I always go back to Quills, man. It's just like fuck. Quills could just go off, make big beats, and just do more damage, and you'll be able to burn.
Yeah.
But it can handle every other deck pretty efficiently. I think that Volcanics could take care of that pretty good. Because you're using a trap card most of the time to do your effects and get your stuff off. People generally chain correctly when they're supposed to. I think it has potential. Again, I think it's kind of in the same weird zone like Infernoids are. But I think it has more chance than Infernoids. That's just me. Hell, how about someone makes Infernoids with Volcanics? Or how about someone takes this Volcanic idea and maybe they can make an engine out of it and then transfer it to something else? Because I like the idea of just having the wiping effect of the Volcanics. Maybe they could have that part in, and maybe just the rockets to search out the trap cards and stuff. And then from there, someone could take it and make a legit fire deck, maybe.
You're crazy, Matt.
Am I crazy? It has to be pure Volcanics, huh? There's no way.
You are sometimes Looney Tunes. I love
I know. Me and Gandhi will think of some idea. Somehow turn it into an engine.
You and Gandhi will somehow... You will turn Amazon.
Dude, could you fucking... Is there a way you could combine, like, a Rekindling OTK in the deck, maybe? Maybe that could happen.
Actually, let me take a look at that really quick.
Somehow you can maybe incorporate in there, maybe cut some cards and stuff, maybe figure it out. Because the basic builds I see, it's a very low monster count. Fuck, you can maybe try to drop some of the spell stuff I see people running. And go from, like, a turbo version with
what does Rekindling say?
It's like 200 defense. I don't think they work with volcanic monsters, but maybe you could add in.
Yeah, it says 200 defense on the dot.
Yeah, so maybe they could add in the other guys. What do they call it? Like the dog or whatever it is? Like, that's one.
Yeah, volcanic Fremble Hound.
Yeah. Maybe somebody could do something like that. So that's my views of volcanics. Anything else you want to say about him?
They have potential. Like, I literally just put the deck on my Dev Pro, and I've just been testing, and I've been going like, this is great. Like,
yeah, that would be able to one-sided Raigeki is really nice. Well, it is Raigeki pretty much, and that burn, the extra 1500 burn is actually very significant. Like, that's where I think maybe you could go help out against the Quills. Like, maybe just do that, even if it doesn't, for some reason they have tower. It doesn't take out tower, but doing that last 1500 damage they probably spent. Like, because they'll probably have low life point counts. They're paying like 800 so much. Maybe at the end there, even if they have that big tower out, we can still do that effect, and then that's 1500 damage. Maybe we'll take them out with that.
Yeah. Or you could just double honest like the scrubs that you are.
Or run Obelisk the Tormentor. Obviously, that's the best out.
That is the best out. Obelisk the Tormentor? Yeah.
Best out to tower, baby. Best out.
It is the best out. You simply attack over it for 1,000.
For 1,000. Yeah, that extra 1,000.
Good times, Matt. Good times
indeed. Alright, so those are all the things that I wanted to... Oh, no, the UAs. How could I forget about the UAs? That gave me such trouble. Alright, so I've seen more... Here's the spikers. After I forgot his name, whatever his name was.
Chubbs. His name was Louis.
Oh, yes, Chubbs. After I faced Chubbs, I went home, I was testing, and I adjusted accordingly to face these guys. And suddenly everyone at fucking Dueling Network's playing these fucking guys. Did some pro guy recently do it? Is that why?
They're kind of good. They really
they are really good, and I don't know how they were missed over if they came out a set or two ago. I have no idea how we...
Their support is being released slowly.
Oh, so they just recently got a new support.
Yeah, it's like 1 or 2 cards every set. Like, this is literally you have to give it time set.
Yeah. So they're really powerful. I have no... Other than just disrupting them in the very early time. I don't know how you beat them. They make big beats. I guess you could find a way to negate their effects, but they already have... They have ways to negate things that you use to try to negate their effects.
You have to outplay them.
Yeah, that's honestly what I think you got to do. They're really, really powerful. The thing is, again, it reminds me of like the Amazonas deck used to have, where the idea was, well, fuck it, just make your guys so big it won't matter what deck they're playing, because you'll just be bigger than everything.
Or even if they're bigger than you, you simply just let them take the damage instead.
Mm-hmm. It's a very, very interesting deck, and just all because they have that pitcher that can just like negate things. It's a quick effect. It's that I think is the big thing. Just being able to negate things that you need to negate is just so powerful. And it's a quick fucking effect. Are you fucking kidding me?
No. Quick effects are things, man.
They are things. So I think this deck actually has a lot of potential, and I think people are going to pick up on this more. And they are mostly Earth, right?
Yeah, they're all Earth.
All Earth. So they have access to Earth support type stuff. It's very interesting. And they're warriors, so they have all those proprietary warrior X seeds you could go into.
But that's just it, though. The only warrior exceeds currently require level 4 monsters.
Yeah, they're not level. They're all like 5 and 6 mostly, to my knowledge.
Actually, there's only 2 of one level, and then it goes. We actually at the shop today. We actually ran over this to see if there was sort of pattern, and it goes like 4. There's 1 level 4, 2 level 5s, a level 6, a level 7, and a level 8. So you can only you really can't exceed in the deck because the deck all UA. There's only 1 level 4 UA monster, and that's midfielder. We were honestly going over this in the shop.
Okay, so they can't. Well, if they could find a way to do level, actually no, that's probably what Konami was thinking ahead. They just wanted them to be one thing that didn't require an extra deck. Hell, they don't really, because at most builds I've seen, they just commit all into the whole idea of bringing out pitcher, bringing out slugger, big beats.
Yep.
Actually, I think that is the only way you really can play it. I was looking at the other guys; it's really not worth it. Everything else, you should just commit to that, and you run traps to slow your opponent down or protect your guys.
Pop, pop, pop.
Yeah. I don't think that is the only really good way to play it.
I know this because I was before the end of the day, I played against nothing but UA.
Jesus, it got popular.
It did.
It's all Chubbs. It's all him. It was all him. He was like, I'm going to test this out and just commit to making this version where it only does this thing. And it will be amazing.
It is amazing.
Yes, it is amazing, isn't it? The only things I've come up with so far is either you got to outplay them. I thought I could do something cute with Kinetic Soldier, but most of the time they make sure their guys are big when they come out. They leave something out. Maybe sometimes you could beat over it if they don't have the equip spell or something.
Actually, let me see something really quick about Kinetic Soldier.
Because he pauses himself during the damage step only.
Yeah.
So maybe if you can catch them off guard if they left something out on your turn, and they don't have the equip spell on it, because then they won't. Because the way it works, they only double for battle damage, to my knowledge, right?
The equip card, right? Let me see.
Because the equip card just adds 1,000. See, the doubling thing is only for doing damage. So theoretically, it only gains 1,300 extra attack. Because the field card gains it's 500. So they gain 1,500 attack. So they become 3,000. See, they become bigger than Kinetic Soldier. That's what I came up with.
Yeah, basically, Slugger plus Field Card equals 38. And it deals double damage if it deals battle damage through a monster, and it can attack again if it kills a monster.
Oh, you know what? I just realized something. What is it? The trap card. Maybe I don't know if it was Prideful Roar or Memory of an Adversary. One of those cards.
Prideful Roar. Prideful Roar is the card you're thinking of. Memory of the Adversary simply
No,
takes
fuck, but the pitcher just negates it. See, doesn't the pitcher just negate it and destroy it?
Yes.
Fuck,
Well,
man, that
actually,
pitcher is the
no.
fucking problem here. That goddamn pitcher is so good.
Matthew, the pitcher only negates on your turn. If they attack you, the pitcher cannot negate.
Oh, so Prideful Roar is probably a good trap to get around it then.
Yep.
Also, I have another way to get rid of them if they leave those guys on the field like the dumb butts they are.
Here, I'm looking at the Kinetic Soldier right now, and I'm seeing something.
Also another way you get rid of those fuckers?
I thought so. What's the other way, though?
Lava Golem. Volcanic Queen.
Yeah.
My out to everything. But they might have Vanity's Emptiness out, because they might have that out for game to keep ensured their victory.
That's just it, though. Those are inherents. Lava Golem, the Volcanic Queen?
Yeah.
Inherents.
So
Don't worry about it.
That'll help.
Yeah. Also, I'm looking at Kinetic Soldier, and I realize it's a trigger ability, meaning if Slugger attacks it, it doesn't go up.
Yeah, no, it has to. You want to run into
Yeah,
it.
that activates. And
Yeah.
Slugger is basically Armades.
Yeah, you wanna. If you're gonna use kinetic, you have to attack into it yourself. That's the only way you're gonna. You don't wanna. You don't want. It's useless if they attack it with the equip spell and everything.
Yeah, or even just a Slugger by itself.
Yeah. Oh. So yeah, these cards. All right, I know we were just talking rambly a little bit, but yeah, this deck overall is just really good. There are ways to get out of it. We just kind of figured out that Prideful Roar probably is a good way to get around it. Memory of the Adversary. What does that one do? Isn't it the one that banishes it and then brings it back or something?
Memory of an Adversary
Yeah,
is
something like
basic.
that.
Yeah, Memory of the Adversary is basically when a monster attacks, you take damage equal to its current attack. Then you banish it. At the end of their next turn, you get it to your side of the field.
Yeah, that's the one. That could be it too if you're willing to take the damage.
Yeah, and you have to take the damage in order to, banish the monster in order to get it.
Yeah, that's pretty rough because most of these UA decks are going to be running protection, most likely.
Yeah,
So it's just really hard. As long as the player's decent, UA should definitely be a formidable deck coming up. Fuck, man, I'm thinking about playing it too. It's very interesting.
It is very interesting.
Yeah, man. Oh, man. So that's UAs.
UA.
What are they called? Ultimate athletes or something like that?
Ultra athletes.
Ultra
And
athletes.
It's a
And
US
their artwork's pretty. You know what? Their artwork's really interesting. I don't feel it's very gimmicky. It's still futuristic looking enough, and a little bit of fantasy elements add into it. But it doesn't look too. The artwork of the cards don't look too weird.
They
Like
say
quills.
that
I fucking think quills look horrible. Just me.
Angels,
Angels. What?
Evangelion.
Oh. Yeah. No. I still think quills look horrible. Just saying. I'm just saying, yo.
Yep.
Yep. All right, moving on to unless there's anything else you want to talk about on Yu-Gi-Oh.
Oh, let's see. At the regionals I was at in Toronto, Canada, I noticed a lot of Burning Abyss and Statulanites, which would explain Deneb's rising price to about $30 right now. Also, I noticed that people everywhere,
Everywhere.
everywhere, are getting ready for Necross.
Well, yeah, that is the fucking it's gonna be so powerful. It is. We
That's-
already fucking played it.
It's going to be the end. Like, well, okay, I won't say the end, but it's going to be like people are going to play that and only that, and that's something we got to get ready for.
Yeah, honestly, my fogs once they come out, they won't be able to keep up. I have kind of no way to. They're just so powerful. They're really fast. They take care of things and everything.
Yep.
Yeah.
So we just have to wait and see when it happens. That's all. When it happens, it happens. So
I don't even want to say it'll be a tier 0 because I feel Quills will be able to do something. They'll still be there.
it depends. It'll be 2 tier 1s against tier 1.
I just don't see what Burning Abyss is going to do against them. Cause the thing is that the cloths are the goddamn Necros. They're so consistent. That's the thing. You know,
Yep.
if they weren't so goddamn consistent, at least they were a little less consistent. Maybe everything else. I just don't see what else will keep up with it, other than itself. And even then, when the mirror match is played out so differently, it becomes like a control matchup at that point.
Yeah.
Which is really weird. That's always been a weird thing about Yu-Gi-Oh! When you get with the power creep that's been happening, when you get mirror matches on things, it's very different dynamic. I mean, you could always say that about I don't know. I just don't think it'll be a tier 0 format, but it could come very close to it because I feel like why wouldn't you play that deck? You know, it literally is crushed. Like when I was playing it on the OCG decks and stuff, it seems like it literally crushes everything in TCG. Then again, some of the builds that are coming out OCG, you know, their list is different than ours, so they do have other access, and they don't face Burning Abyss, so
No, they don't face Burning Abyss.
They don't.
You're correct.
I don't. But honestly, I don't think Burning Abyss is going to do fucking shit to it. From what I've tested out, at least. It doesn't seem to do much. I don't know, Chris. I think it's going to be... It's actually going to change up Yu-Gi-Oh! Quite a bit. I don't know if there's any anti-ritual monster stuff that I could think of at the top of my head.
There is Ritual Buster, just the regular stuff. Like anything that stops a special summon, that.
Yeah, but we already run.
Anything that stops tributes. But at the same time...
Yeah, Mask of Restrict has been... I've never thought I'd see that so popular. I used to side that shit in against fucking Monarchs. And now everyone's fucking running Mask of Restrict, and I thought it was for Monarchs. No, they're getting ready for other things. Things that are like stopping the... let's see. Obviously the Quills, because they tribute a bit too.
Yeah.
But yeah, Mask of Restrict, man. I haven't seen that pop up quite a bit as a side set card again. And I don't like it, of course. You know why I don't like it. It's kind of nice that people forgot about Mask of Restrict for a while, and I was able to just be like, oh yeah, frogs, Monarchs. You run Mask of Restrict? Stop me that way. They're like, no. Like, yeah, no one does. Alrighty. I guess we'll move on to some Pokemon now.
Good stuff.
All right, so a new set came out, boys and girls. X and Y Primal Clash. So, obviously, it's a set based off of the, the primal stuff that's been going on in the new games, with the Primal Kyogre and all the other stuff. And let's get into the new set here a little bit. So, I've got this awesome Poke Beach up here, and I have a couple noted cards. The way I broke this up was cards that I actually feel are good and will change things up, and then other cards that are just notable. Now, they might do something good. They actually, most of the time, they're kind of shitty, but they have some notable effect that is interesting and to consider. So the first thing I have here under cards that matter is I have Warlord EX. It has now broke the record yet again, beating itself for the highest HP Pokemon. Warlord EX is 250 HP. That is the highest a Pokemon card has ever been in the card game. Holy mackerel. Holy shit. That is a big-ass booty. That is a mighty big-ass booty. Its ability is Water Veil. Whenever you attach an energy card from your hand to this Pokemon, you recover all special conditions from it. That's kind of nice. And then has an attack you'll never fucking use. For 5 water, high beaching is 120 damage, and then this Pokemon is now asleep. With its mighty 4 retreat cost. So, why this card is notable and I feel is important because it is a high HP Pokemon. You could use it as a wall. And I think that's the best way you could use it. Next notable card here, we have Primal Kyogre. If I can fucking find it. Yes, we got Primal Kyogre. For 240 HP. It has the same Mega rule, because it's pretty much the same rule as Primal Pokemon are pretty much Mega Pokemon. That's how it is. This one's actually pretty interesting. It has one of the new mechanics in the game. I do believe it's called Alpha Growth here at the top here. Whenever you attach an energy card from your hand to this Pokemon, except with an attack, ability, or trainer card, you may attach 2 energy cards. So this is the new ability, so new mechanic in the game. It's not an ability, it's not a Pokebody, it's just a whole new mechanic. I don't know what the mechanic's called, just like Alpha Growth. Like a lot of Alpha or Omega type of abilities are called. This one's interesting because the way it works is not when you attach energy, you get 2 extra attached. It's just like you attach an energy and then you get to attach 1 more to it. Very interesting because Garbodor does not shut off those type of effects. And it's a new mechanic that is going to be pretty interesting, actually. We haven't had a new mechanic in the game for quite a bit, actually. Also, other notable thing, it has a 4 energy, 3 water, 1 colorless. Tidal Storm, I do believe, for 150. Move 2 energy cards from one of your bench Pokemon. This attack does 30 damage to each of your opponent's bench Pokemon EXs. So not only does this do 154 energy, which is not, not bad, but not super great either. You can, if you want to, you can move 2 energies from this Pokemon, then it hit the bench for 30. Not a super amazing card, but definitely not a horrible card either. Someone might be able to make an interesting water deck out of Primal Kyogre, maybe. That'd be interesting. The Primal cards actually do not have Spirit Links, to my knowledge, so you do lose the turn. Next one, we have another Mega Pokemon that's actually notable. Mega Aggron. Now, this one is very, very interesting. 240 HP. It's a metal Pokemon, obviously. For 4 energy, 2 metal, 2 colorless. Megaton Slam. Whoa. Isn't that a fucking... Man, that is a wrestling move if I ever heard of it. For 120, you then flip a coin. And if heads, this attack does 120 more damage for a total of 240 damage. Other than that, Whale Lord, you're taking out everything in the fucking game. But if you get tails, this guy does 20 damage to each of your bench Pokemon. So no matter what, you're doing 120, and then if you take that risk, you take 20. That's not a super big risk. I think it's like a high payoff, medium risk type of thing. It's not like a high risk, high reward. It's like a high reward, minimalist risk. Because only taking 20 damage to your bench Pokemon, yeah, that could suck. You could actually even mitigate that with Mr. Mine if you really want to. But 240 damage for 4 energy, that's pretty amazing. Especially you can speed it up with things like Bronzong and everything. This is a very interesting card, and I think this will actually see some play of this as a Mega that's worth running. And it does have a Spirit Link, so you can mitigate the loss of the turn. Next, we have Mega... I have no idea how to say this. Mega Garnivore. I think that's how you say it. The Poke Shipper Extraordinaire card, as I call it. This one actually is interesting and could be good because of its typing alone. 210 is not really big for a Mega. Not at all. But its typing alone of being Fairy is what makes it very viable. Because you could run it in a Aromatisse deck. Now, what its effect is, what its attack is Brilliant Arrow, 30 times 30. This attack does 30 damage for the amount of Fairy energy attached to all of your Pokemon. Now, you could run an Aromatisse deck and run nothing but Fairy energy. And I think Rainbow energy would count as well. But obviously, you don't want to run too much Rainbow energy anymore because of Hand Hammer. You could potentially do a lot of damage with this. It's more of like, I think it's just a good, well-supported card that's going to help support Fairy decks and existing Aromatisse decks. I don't know if you'd really want to run a high lineup of it. I think you want to stick to like 2-2 lineup of it, because it could be a very powerful attacker, or it could be your win condition with big attacks at the end, because that's actually a pretty interesting attack if you're running an all-Fairy deck. Next, we're going to move on to some notable trainer cards. We have Archie's Ace in the Hole. Now, this is a very, very interesting supporter. If you play this, you can only play this card if it's the last card in your hand, which is, you could probably consistently get that off, with Junipers, using computer searches or Ultra Balls that would, get rid of your hand, and you just go down quite a bit. You get to put and play a water Pokemon from your discard pile onto your bench, then draw 5 cards. So that is a free water Pokemon. Keep in mind, you don't need the evolutions with it. You can literally bring in Primal Kyogre for free, and then draw 5 cards. I think people could make a very, very interesting water deck out of using this supporter. And I think there's many, many situations where you can get it down to one hand. Now, how consistent that will be, we'll have to find out when we do some playtesting. But this is a very, very interesting supporter, and I love to see what people do with this. Next here, we're going with a water theme here. Dive Ball. More water support. Search your deck for a water Pokemon, reveal it, and put it in your hand. That's pretty simple. You pretty much get a free water Pokemon to search out. I've noticed there's a decent amount, a little bit of water support going on in here. So I think someone, again, with Archie's Ace in the Hole, plus things like Dive Ball and Primal Kyogre, you actually can, maybe make a decent water deck and do something very interesting. The next supporter I want to go over here, Maxie's Hidden Ball Trick. Another similar supporter card to what the Ace in the Hole was trying to do. You can only play this card if it's the last card in your hand. And then also what it does, you can put a fighting Pokemon from your discard pile in your hand, from your discard pile to the bench, and then draw 5 cards. Similar, but with the fighting Pokemon. Same deal, although I don't feel fighting Pokemon, I don't know, maybe you want to run it in a Donphan deck, but I just don't feel like fighting Pokemon are running out of that kind of stuff. Final card I think is actually good is Teammates. Yes. Interesting supporter. You can play this card only if you have one Pokemon that was knocked out during your opponent's last turn. So you search your deck for up to 2 cards and put them in your hand. Shuffle your deck afterwards. So let's say you get your opponent gets a knockout. You play this next turn. You search 2 cards for free. Bring them to your hand. Very, very powerful supporter. I think people will be able to utilize that pretty heavily. Next, now we're going to move on to the notable cards that are not necessarily good. First one I have here is the Trainer Stadium card. Rough Seas. Once during either player's turn, you may heal 30 damage to one of your water Pokemon and electric Pokemon. Interesting stadium. 30 damage is a significant amount of healing. The only negative about it is your opponent can utilize it as well. Same thing with Scorched Earth here. Same idea, except you can do it. Discard a fire or fighting energy from your hand, and then if you do, you can draw 2 cards. Again, your opponent can use that as well. Next noted card, but not necessarily good, is we got Trevident EX. With its Dark Force ability, the defending Pokemon can't retreat during your opponent's next turn. I feel that that is an interesting attack that you can probably utilize to keep a Pokemon your opponent out, keep Pokemon that's out there that maybe has poison or something, and then you don't want to retreat them out to take care of the damage or anything like that. And again, nothing super amazing, but something to consider. Next here, we're going to go to the top. Beedrill. Oh, this is interesting. Allergic Shock. For 1 energy, during your next turn, if the defending Pokemon is damaged by an attack, it is knocked out. So, you could do a 2-hit punch and knock out any Pokemon. It's pretty interesting, actually. You can just attack with Allergic Shock, the next turn do a little damage, and then boom, it dies instantly. Free knockout. That is a very interesting attack. Again, I don't think it's very viable. Stage 2er, and it's a Beedrill, only 120 HP. Nothing too amazing, but it's just very interesting. Next, we got Skeptile. What's interesting about this guy is its ability, Nurture and Heal. Once during your turn, before you attack, you may attach a Leaf Energy card from your hand to one of your Pokemon. If you do, it heals for that Pokemon. Again, I don't think this is a very good card, but that ability could probably be used to heal up on certain Leaf decks, and you might be able to utilize it in your deck. Next, Ludicolo. Again, another Pokemon noted for his ability, a captivating rhythm. Once during your turn, before you attack, you may flip a coin. If heads, switch one of your opponent's bench Pokemon with his or her active Pokemon. What's interesting about this is that you can do a free switch from the bench if you want, which is really nice. It is a coin flip, so that's the big problem. Maybe if you're running a Leaf deck and you're, for some reason, rocking Ludicolo, why not try out, get those free switches in there? Why not? Next, Ninetales. Stage 1er. Noted again for its ability. Barrier Shrine. Each player can't play stadium cards from his or her hand. This is actually, Ninetales I've seen recently has become a very interesting lockout card. I've seen the Ninetales that actually does the switching. Now we get this Ninetales that cancels out stadium cards. Every deck is pretty much playing a stadium card at this point. If you're a Don fan, you're playing the Fighting Gym. If you're playing a Fairy deck, you're playing Fairy Garden. Burbank City Gym is a very popular stadium. I think this card could be very viable. Thing you want to note, though, you want to play your stadium card first and then play Ninetales so that then you lock out your opponent and you still have the nice benefits of your own stadium card. Just keep that in mind for the future, boys and girls. Next, I want to show off this Torchic. There's nothing special about the Torchic itself, but it's showing off, again, the new mechanic in the set. This is the, Omega Barrier mechanic. Omega Barrage. So pretty much what this ability lets him do, Torchic do, is it can attack twice. So you literally can go Claw, do 20 damage, and you can do Claw, 20 damage. Of course, this Pokemon is shitty, but we could see this mechanic on other more powerful cards in the future, and I think this new mechanic in the game is going to be very interesting. Because, again, with things like Garbodor, they're shutting off Pokemon abilities, but now we've got a new mechanic that Garbodor cannot shut off. And that could see some cool potential. Stuff like that. The other card that has this mechanic, let's see, I thought was interesting was, was it? Oh, yeah, this. Okay, I have no idea to say this. It's the normal Pokemon that's a bunny that has the giant ears. Let's see. Bunny Dubai, I think that's how you say it. I don't even know how to say the name, sorry. Also has the same ability where it can, let's see, if this Pokemon can attack twice in a turn. So it has an attack called Discard Top Card from your opponent's deck, and then you could do it again. So that's another card that's using a mechanic that can be kind of annoying. Milling 2 cards from your opponent's deck is never a fun thing. No, not that card. Let's see the next one here. Oh, Melodic, yes. And the next card I wanted to show off was Melonic. Melonic? I don't know how you say that. If I could find it. There it is. This has a very powerful ability, in my opinion. Sparkling Ripples. Whenever you play this Pokemon from your hand to evolve one of your Pokemon, you may put a card from your discard pile into your hand. So right now, we don't really... Oh, thank you, chat. They corrected my pronouncing of the Pokemon. right now in standard Pokemon play, we don't have anything to recycle stuff from the discard pile. Let's see. You have Versus Seeker for supporters, and then was it Sacred Ash? Yeah, Sacred Ash is not too good. So maybe if you're thinking about running a stage 1 in your deck, why not try Melodic? Recycling cards for free from your discard pile to your hand is really nice. Yeah, so it would be nice to have a Pokemon you could bring back. Okay. And the final card I wanted to show off that I think is unique but not too special here was Manaphy. In standard right now, we don't have really recycling type of Pokemon. We don't have Sableye with its Junk Hunt anymore or anything like that. So now with Manaphy, we have an attack here called Deep Sea Swirl. Shuffle your hand to your deck, then draw 6 cards. That is a very interesting attack, being able to fix your hand up and everything like that. Yeah, now you could debate that maybe you don't want to leave something out like this out there, but since it's just a basic, they're only getting 1 prize from it, it's kind of worth it for 1 energy. Like, see, a lot of good, powerful water cards are coming out of this set, and I think that's where someone could try to make a really interesting water deck. That's what I hope to see, personally. So, yeah. The final things I want to show here, those are all the noble cards. Of course, each of the megas in the set have spirit links, so we have one for Aggron. And, oh, actually, yep, there is one for Primal Kyogre and everything like that. So you can get one for Primal Kyogre or everything like that. Things notable here, Rare Candy is getting reprint, which is nice. Experience Share is back in the world of Pokemon TCG, which is nice. We haven't had a reprint for that in a long time, so it's now back at standard. Aggro Bike is, I guess okay. You look at the top 2 cards of your deck and put one of them into your hand, the other in discard pile. I don't see why you'd want to play that, but, that is a thing. Steel and Fairy Energy sucks balls. It's not really worth it at all, in my opinion. Yeah. So don't even run those, my honest opinion. Then we got something called Weakness Policy. The Pokemon attached with this Pokemon tool has no weaknesses. Now, that could be very powerful. Think of it like a Yveltal, which basically the only way you want to take that out is to bring out a Lightning Pokemon. Well, if it has Weakness Policy on it, guess what? You ain't taking it out, boys and girls. And we got 4 gold cards. Switch is finally getting a gold card. Oh, my God, it looks so beautiful. Chris, if you could see this. In Pokemon, they have these special gold cards. They're like, think of it like as rare as like a Ghost Rare would be in a set, like how hard it is to get of the pack. They have these gold cards, and they pick specific cards to be the gold cards. This time we have Switch, which is a classic card from base set 1, which now we have a gold card of it, which is really nice. Everyone's going to want this card. I want 4 of them myself. Enhanced Hammer also got a gold card, Weakness Policy, and Dive Ball.
Interesting.
The big thing out of this is the Switch. I think everyone's going to want gold Switches. Fuck, I want 4 of them. It's so beautiful, the way the gold... It's all gold around the edges and the text and the bars. It has a nice little shine to it. The full arts don't look too bad either. I personally like... Where is it? Where's Mega Aggron? Mega Aggron looks fucking sweet. So cool. Keep in mind, noted, here's really full. In America, the Mega full arts have the Japanese text. But in Japan, their Mega full arts have the English text. So that's very interesting that I thought Pokemon did. I don't know why I don't just give us the English text for our full arts, but whatever. That's what I think would make more sense, but that's just me. So those are the noted cards coming out of X and Y Primal. So a lot of cool stuff coming out. I actually am most excited about Mega Aggron. I think Steel decks have a chance now with a very big beater with Brazong, which again, you had to run a very interesting deck to do that. It might not be super consistent, but maybe if someone can get the ratios just right, it could be a very powerful deck. And that's my biggest hope out of it. And then maybe a water deck could do something. That'd be cool. That would be sweet. All right, other than that, Pokemon is pretty interesting right now. We're trying to see some decks come out. I've seen a couple Mega Aggron decks, and that's about it. Hopefully we'll see more. I want to see... Thinking of the upcoming weeks, we'll start seeing water decks. That's my big prediction. Other than that, the meta stayed about the same. Donphan's great. Yveltal decks are still great. And I'm actually still seeing Virizion Genesect decks. Those are still very popular as well. And so Pokemon's really good right now. I think it's a very solid game right now. Very interesting.
That's good.
Yeah. And with the new format they invented too, the extended, now with having a second type of format, people could play it at tournaments. And to my knowledge, I don't because we haven't gotten confirmation, but the Worlds might work like the that's been working at Nationals and Regionals, where you have to play at both formats, which will be very interesting to see if they keep doing that for Worlds as well. Yeah, but that's what's going on Pokemon. So let's then move on to final thoughts, and then we'll probably just end the show from there.
Huh. All right then. So, any on your mind, Matt?
The only thing I really want to say is Yu-Gi-Oh's about to get nuts. We might get into a Tier 0 format. I don't know. I don't want to say that, but I would not be surprised if it happens. I just think Quills will be good enough to where there'll be 2 decks at least that are super good. Because I don't know, Chris, how are you good? The Stellanites are good, but I don't know.
Oh, I already planned. Like, it's my birthday, and I know that my girlfriend is going to buy me a box or 2.
Mm-hmm.
So I will at least have a jumping start into Quills.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, into Necros.
I was about to say Quills. You're not getting any. I don't think there's any Quills coming out in that set, right?
None. But I will get a jump start into Necros. Right now, as we are talking, I am playtesting Necros. And I'm going against the computer's Necros. And it's pretty good, Matt.
Yeah. I believe it.
Pretty good.
I fucking believe it, Christopher.
Yep.
That'll be interesting when that comes up. Magic is still solid as it's always been. 2 combo decks in the format is very interesting. I'm like to see some combos come out of there because it makes you have to side appropriately a little better and had to handle besides just facing more type decks. I mean, it makes you have to handle facing more type of decks. I like that.
How did you handle the list change, like birthing pod and such?
Yeah, those are gone. That's fine with me. I wasn't running those shits anyways. Treasure Cruise I lost, but fuck it. It's okay. I still have it in standard. So, it's still in standard Treasure Cruise, so that's okay.
Is Nero going to be all right?
Yeah, he was super happy about Birthing Pod being gone.
Oh, really?
Yeah. It was broken. It should have happened a long time ago, he said. Yeah.
Sounds like him.
And Pokemon has never been more solid than ever. More decks can achieve greatness right now than ever was. So I like that. A lot of diverse decks out there. Hope to see more and more.
Let's hope so.
Yes. So that will be our show, guys. So
Thanks, everybody.
Yeah, thanks for watching. Remember, you can check us out on megascorcher.com for all the VODs and to join the forums to take the chat beyond the show. You can follow us on Twitter, The Main Phase. You can like us on Facebook, Megascorchers The Main Phase. Add us to your circles in Google+, Megascorchers The Main Phase. And even email us, themainphasemegascorcher@gmail.com for your love mail, your hate mail, your troll mail, all that good stuff. Episode number 97, guys. We'll catch you all next week. Peace out.
Peace out, and thanks again.
Yeah.